Oh, you already started it. Hey, everybody. So, one of us is talking in a microphone, and the other of us isn't.
Hey, I have my microphone right here.
Okay, now I hear you. Okay. Hey, everybody.
All y'all listeners, let me know if I'm just mouthing everything.
No, I can hear you now. So, welcome to our Monday Night Web Show. We are waiting on Paul. We don't know if he's going to join us or not. He isn't feeling well, so he may or may not join us.
Yeah, man. If you've noticed, my voice is a little deeper. I'm also suffering from the transition of seasons in the form of a very masculine sounding cold.
Yeah, everybody at work where I work at, they're like all sneezing and coughing and stuff like that. I got the immune system of a freaking rock, so like I get sick like once a year and it's like a doozy. But so keep Nurgle's rot in your head.
All right. Well, I don't think I am known for pretty big sneezes, but I don't think even my sneezes could reach over where you're at. So,
I mean, we are coast to coast.
Oh man, just. I'm actually looking up maps on Amazon for you guys for all Christmas. all them geography shenanigans that happen on this show.
I'm just saying you're a little closer to the Pacific than the Atlantic.
That I am not disputing that fact, but I'm also probably at a higher elevation than anyone else on the show. So
that's true. Well, so we got some things. They came out. I flooded our little chat group. I don't know what those are called, right? Yeah, like a chat group.
Yeah, the message group that the admins look at.
Man, let me tell you, white scars are a thing. If you did not know,
they didn't need anything else. Why don't you see this? This I'm about to rant here. Hope y'all are okay with that. But
go for it.
Why the crap? Our white scars who are already in Codex Space Marines already have the Battle Company, the Gladius, whatever, getting a brand new one, and I still don't have anything. I don't.
The real reason it's already written. I mean, this was like the rumor. Remember, the Advent calendar was out. We just got the white scar, like data cards or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff's been sitting around until they found a release window for it, and then now they bundled it with her. This just to keep the sales even.
Dude,
still not feeling the love. That's all I'm saying.
These relics are insane. Like, this is probably the most useful group of relics I've ever seen.
They're pretty good.
Yeah,
they
do not suck.
I'm gonna run through right fast. What's up?
Because two of them I think are awesome.
Well, okay. There's
which is about par for the course. I typically like 2 relics in every relic. All
right. Well, the first one that I looked at that caught my eye, and I stopped reading because lots of words. The Banner of the Eagle. It's 30 points, and it gives you a White Scars 12-inch bubble that gives you Fleet and Furious Charge. So that's pretty huge.
That's really good because it's the aura. It's not just that unit. It's any White Scars unit within 12 inches.
And that's the thing. It's like that banner basically needs to be a Blood Angel banner. Like maybe a Death Company banner, because who else has Fleet and Furious Charge, or at least did, until they lost
White Scars and Dark Angels. Con.
Dark Angels used to be good, yeah. Way back when. The other one that I like, where to go, is the Hunter's Eye. Now, so if you're playing that shooty command squad with like the grav guns and stuff like that, this might come into play. So what it does is a model equipped with the Hunter's Eye adds 1 to his ballistic skill, and all his ranged weapons have ignores cover. Whilst, because we love that word, a model equipped with the Hunter's Eye as part of a unit, all other ranged weapons carried by models in that unit also have ignores cover. And this is only 20 points.
What if you use that with like Grav Centurions?
Well, okay, let's go when it's the Orbital Strike.
Right?
So it is really good. It's great with Grav Centurions. Also fits right in that Bike Star though. But okay, realistically, are any one of these, either what we've talked about so far, better than the Shield Eternal? I say no.
But do you have to? Well, yeah, maybe not better than the Shield Eternal if that's what you're looking to do, if you're looking to get up close and do that kind of stuff. But if you're putting this on a dude, you're not putting it on a dude that you want up front on a bike, planning on engaging a gargantuan creature. You've got it on dudes in the back that are ready to shoot stuff.
Yeah, I think Centurions benefit the most from it. 20 points, man, that's dirt cheap to make sure that that monstrous creature that's doing the toe dragging cover and stuff like that just doesn't get it. So,
it is good. Those are the two good ones. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like instead of having to hope to get that one power out of divination with a librarian that costs you X number of points plus 25 for another psychic mastery, you're just spending 20 points and you're getting it guaranteed.
Yeah. Now, the other two relics that I like that I would probably use in like fun games would be the Glaive of Vengeance. It's 30 points. And it's one of those dual profiles, like it's better when you charge, and then it, kind of tones itself down. But it's +3 strength AP2 mastercrafted. Well, it's always mastercrafted, but it's +3 strength AP2 on the turn it charges, and then it's 1 strength AP3 all the subsequent turns. So, like, I like it because it gives you that good hard hit, right out the gate, but for 30 points, it is a little bit rough.
I think that one's a little bit more on the expensive side. I mean, if you can get that charge off, great. But if you can't get that charge off, then...
Yeah, it's in essence worthless, yeah.
Yeah. Unless you can win that combat, the effectiveness tapers off real quickly.
I mean, you can take relics even in allied attachments and stuff. So, there's still room for one of these, a Shield Eternal, or a Gorgon Chain guy and Samael on the same list.
Yeah. The only other thing that I saw that was kind of fun, I believe it's only 5 points more than a normal bike, but the Wrath of the Heavens. So basically what it does is it's a bike that, normal rules apply, can't be taken by Terminators, can't be taken with the jump pack. But when the rider turbo boosts with it, it can move up to 18 inches, pass over units and terrain as though it were a jet bike. Now, I like that for the fun factor, but I don't see a whole lot of use for it at 25 points. Just pay for the normal bike. Because what are you doing, Like, are you leaving your own unit? Like, I don't know.
See, that reminds me, do you remember, Paul, in 5th edition, the old FAQ for Blood Angels, where if you had a librarian on a bike and he used Wings of Sanguinius, that he would become a jet biker?
I remember that something like that existed. Yeah, but didn't...
No one ever used it because it was effectively useless. I mean, he could. No one could keep up with him if he did it. He'd be like, "Here I am by myself over here."
Yeah. And so so those were all the whites. Well, it wasn't all of them. The other two were really worthless. One of them's something for a librarian. He gives you like a bonus power, and I don't even remember what. Oh, it's like a crappy sword. The other one. I'm looking at the Raven Guard relics. Not impressed, really, especially in light of the White Scars ones. Did you guys see something that I might be overlooking?
I don't remember anything that stood out, and I actually what I mean by that is I can't remember it at all. So maybe that's the trick, because they are stealthy Raven Guard, so maybe they're just trying not to be noticed like that.
Yeah, well, that was the only one that I did notice was... there was one that gives you a 2+ armor, and if you don't move, you're stealth enshrouded.
It's not amazing. I mean, it's not. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't suck, but it's not good. I guess if you're gonna have something sitting in the backfield,
what I do like is the Talon Strike Force. The Talon Strike Force. This whole I don't know, the Bird Curian.
I like
the best way to describe it. I don't know. But the Shadow Strike kill team is one of the auxiliary choices.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that you can get the know when to strike rule. So on a 4+, your reserves can come in on turn 1.
No, that's good.
Meaning that's useful.
You could realistically bring down the Annihilation Strike Force and the Shadow Strike kill team coming in on turn 1, make them all Raven Guards, so they all get their Shrouded on turn 1, and Assault on turn 1, hopefully kill what they charge, and then hang on cover and get their 2+ save.
That's definitely strong. I think there's going to be a lot of lists built. I expect to see black armor everywhere pretty soon.
I mean, that's like 9,000 points. So I mean, I don't know what the viability of this stuff is, but I'm just saying that these are the things you should be thinking about when you're building this. I haven't done a point for point to see what the base, because you can take a Marine demi company as your core.
Yeah.
And I don't know what comes out to be more point efficient at this point, the Pinion Battle Company or the Battle Demi Company from the Codex Space Marines. I have not done that point for point analysis yet.
Right.
But I think it's nice that the auxiliary is this Shadow Strike kill team, and you get the Decurion thing, the extreme planning or whatever it's called, extensive planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to re-roll all that pregame stuff, including deployment.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think that's. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm really happy for Raven Guard players with this. As much as I feel like the White Scars didn't really need anything, I felt that the Raven Guard players, probably in the Raven Guard as a chapter tactics, needed something. I didn't know exactly what it was, but it needed to be something to give them a little bit of that flavorful edge, and I think that this has effectively done that.
Yeah, dude, like, I mean, Raven Guard, there's people out there that love them, and for the longest time they didn't really have anything that they could use to say that they were their own. Now they have that choice, and some of the rules I think they're pretty aggressive. So I think that people that really want to play Raven Guard, they have an opportunity to do that now. So that's a good place to be.
Well, yeah, and that's the place that we really want all armies to be, right, Paul? We want every army to be playable. Like,
that's the best
how
thing
we feel the Eldar are.
That is literally the best thing for the game moving forward, is making every army have these like interesting things. Because if everything's powerful, then nothing's overpowered. That's kind of been like the War Machine almost like strategy for, and that's one reason that people like that game. And I'm not saying that we should go that far, like everything's a Wraith Knight or everything's a whatever. I just think that we should make everything useful, including the various different types of Marines out there, because people love playing Power Armor Marines.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, I think that it also needs to be pointed out that tournament organizers need to be open to the use of some of these things, even if it's not directly in your book. I've been having discussions lately with a TO in this area that if it's not in the Codex or not a specific Codex supplement like Clan Rockin', then he's not allowing it in the tournament. Like White Dwarf's not allowed, campaign supplements aren't allowed, things like that, and it's really cramping my style.
I don't even understand what world that dude lives in. I'll be honest, I don't. Josh has joined us, by the way. That's why I was actually messaging to get him into the camera. So, but yeah, I mean, what Chris is talking about is people that don't allow supplements, White Dwarfs, other campaign books, and that kind of stuff with the rules the way 40K is going. That guy, when you're running a tournament, you take on all the risk. Do whatever you want. I'm not telling you not to do what you want to do. I'm just going to tell you I don't understand what world you live in right now with that type of mentality.
Yeah, well, and kudos to him for wanting to pick it up and run events, because that's a step all by itself. But and I told him this.
Dude, if 15, 20 people show up to his store and play that tournament, then he's won. Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. Now the thing is, and I explained this to him, is that you can know most things, but oftentimes you're not going to know everything. You're not going to have the opportunity to read everything, and if players are being responsible, they're going to bring the rules for whatever it is that they're using, right? Well, and if they don't have it, then they shouldn't be able to use it. But
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second here. Maybe what he's doing...
You love that.
He might just be trying to ease the group or community in that area into things by keeping it simple. I suggest lowering the point scale. Let all the stuff in, just lower the point scale. So start with like 1250 or 1500. Do your tournaments a few rounds that way, and then start building up from there. As you and your community grows and gets more comfortable with the games and the tournament setting, then you can build upon that and get up to the 1850, 1750, or 2K if that's your flavor.
Well, he's doing it at 1500.
I know I came in late. Yeah, did you guys all give shout outs and stuff to everybody?
No,
Not quite
yeah, you caught me right in the middle of a rant of White Scars.
yet.
There you go. Bill, good to see you. Sal, awesome. Dean, Steve, Lamont, good to see you guys. And then we got a few more in there, but I will find you in the chat if you make yourself known. But I thank you very much. I'm sorry I was a couple minutes late, by the way. I didn't mean to cut you off with y'all's ranting, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. Tau, it's
a lot of Tau.
I mean,
If
I
we
know
don't
that
talk
we're
about
gonna.
Heresy, I'm gonna explode.
Well, I know that we're going to talk a lot about Space Marine stuff because that's it's more in line with kind of our play style. At least when we don't have Adam talking about Tau every 2 seconds.
1, 2, Tau.
Which God bless him. I mean,
Tau.
whatever. Yeah.
Tau.
I should string together a bunch of Taus. But I mean, if we can kind of jump a little bit, the Firebase cadre. You guys know I'm a fan of the Firebase cadre. I know a lot of people are not fans of the Firebase cadre, but it got better.
In this meta, I mean, why wouldn't you be a fan of it?
It actually got better.
And it's in the book now.
Well, now you don't have. Yep. So yeah, your buddy's going to have struggle with that, but you don't have to take 3 broadsides in each of the units now. You could take just a unit of broadsides, so you could take fewer broadsides. And it's got the special rule where all you can combine all the shots into one shooting attack.
I love that.
And that means that you roll all the dice, apply all the wound, and that's going to power through some people's lookout sirs.
Yeah, I think Josh agrees.
Josh, I don't know if your I don't know if your mic is working.
Yeah, I know his computer camera's nodding, so
yeah.
I feel like he's following along.
I'm on to something. I think is where we're going here. It's like but the lookout sir shenanigans is one of the ways that Death Stars competes, and with the ability to power through that with a neat rule, because it says it benefits from the same marker lights, that kind of stuff. So you put all these effects on them, and then pull it off. Pull your counters off, do all this stuff with all these shots. I think it's going to make a bigger impact than it did before.
Because marker lights didn't change at all, did they? From the last edition, from the 6th edition book.
I mean, other than like other units like that using special rules to let them use it like that, everything else looked the same from what I saw so far. I didn't see anything new.
I'm excited about the book because we obviously have those formations. That I forget what it's called, but that bundle that's on the Games Workshop site, the 2 Storm Surgers and the Ghost Keel. It looks cool enough for me to probably want to get it. I'm not saying I'm going to get it. I got many projects to work on before that, but I'm happy that it exists.
Yeah, I'm all about the Ghost Keels and stealth suits. That one's going to be my heat.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah.
Gabriel, see you jumping in there. Okay. As for Horus Heresy, we got to talk about it.
Yes, we do. So I wanted to talk about a bunch of stuff on the last show, but scheduling shenanigans, we weren't all able to line up. But we've got 4 novels coming out, right? And one of those involves the Night Lords. It's basically, you know how, Paul, you've been asking for that one book that's going to move forward the story? That book is coming out.
Are we really talking about books right now?
We are talking about books, Justin. You shut your face. I need my moment. But, on top of that, they also previewed the new Horus Heresy game book that's coming out, which has the Black Shields in it, which has the Knights Errant in it, and the mechanics for all of that sound amazing. It has all the Legion rules for Blood Angels and White Scars and Dark Angels. So all
the Black Shields and the Knight Errant stuff actually does sound kind of interesting.
Well, the thing I like about the Knight Errant thing is you pick one as your HQ, right? And then you write down a secret objective based on the character that you picked. And they've got Garrow and Rubio, and Garrow looks so cool, by the way. But based on the objective, you keep that a secret from your opponent, and you get tons of victory points by accomplishing that. But there is no way that you can win the game without doing it.
We talk about the rules a lot in the books, and we've even mentioned this about the missions and whatever too. But the missions in the Horus Heresy books are very inventive. They're pretty good in the fact that they set up actual scenarios that are fun to play. And I don't think they're tournament missions like without some modifications, but they definitely capture the feel of what the conflict is about.
Definitely. No, I'm super excited about all this stuff's coming out. Rumor has it is that Corax is the next Primarch that's going to be released. I'm expecting that to be a really cool model.
Are we starting that rumor? I think we started that rumor.
We started that rumor? I don't think we started that rumor.
We don't start rumors, we state facts.
I think we started the rumor. But it makes sense. I mean, with all these Raven Guard releases and even the Raven Guard snipers, it makes sense that we're going to see Corax.
And then just today, was it today or was it Sunday, it was announced that on the 7th, pre-orders go up for a Horus Heresy themed game, and this is the much anticipated plastic Horus Heresy box from GW.
And now I have $0. Like
yep. Yep, you and me both. But if it's Calth themed like they're talking about, I'm just wondering if there are going to be tons of Ultramarine and Wordbearers bits in there. Because I will be honest with you, those are two armies I'm really not interested in using. But if it's easy enough to convert them over,
we've seen this bruise. We've seen this bruise. We've seen, and there weren't any icons on there. It's just power armor.
And if that's the case, it'll be super easy to port those over to legions that actually we care about. Sorry, Carl.
Yeah, now, I don't know what the actual price point's going to be, but I mean, what we've seen in these starter sets that have 2 factions or enough for 2 factions that it's accessible. And I'm fearing that is going to make me want to start multiple Heresy chapters.
Theorizing? Is that the word?
No,
I'm misunderstanding.
I'm fearing that it's going to make me want to start multiple Marine chapters.
See, you got to understand, I'm a little congested, so the hearing isn't so bueno.
Yeah, I hear you.
Them West Coasters, man, they just don't understand that Southern twang.
They don't get it.
You guys are just too oversaturated with oxygen down in that lower altitude.
Lower amazingness? I agree. Man, so, okay, I want to interject for 2 halves of a second here. So, we got the 14th. Where is Gigabyte Cafe in conjunction to where Warzone Atlanta is going to be? Because I need to go get the box that morning.
Yeah, it's okay. Gigabytes is going to be one of our vendors.
Bring it to me.
I'm hoping that they have it there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm also in contact with a certain game manufacturer that does not like to talk to people very often.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just going to leave that at that, and I hope to have some. Yeah. So anyway.
Paul, I was hoping for something a little more vague than that. Could you please unclarify what you just said?
All right, guys, it's Nerf.
Let's just say that I understand the importance of this, and I want people to have their minds occupied with it. So I would like to try to take away that burden from them by doing what I can. That's all I can say. I'm not promising anything by any stretch of the imagination. But I will be speaking with folks that I think that might be able to assist with this and have it. Now, Gigabytes is pretty close by, though. So if in the event that he can't get it there, or if somebody else doesn't get it there, then I will take you there, or at least point you in the right direction.
Somebody make it happen. That's all I'm saying.
I'm happy to discuss that. Running a tournament is difficult. Organizing one of these things is difficult. I'm happy to announce, though, that I spent about 4 hours talking about what kind of beer to bring in today. Again,
I was really worried about that, Paul.
Yeah, it's the thing that gets me is that we were having conversations about beer, and then someone threw out the fact that they thought that everyone was a beer snob, and then I wanted to point out that these people aren't beer snobs because of the types of beer they're talking about.
I heard the list that was proposed, and I was a little off put. I expected more.
Look, anything that you can get in a highway gas station is not a premium beer.
Yeah. Like seriously, man. Like people that think like Sam Adams is like, oh my god, like this is like quality beer. It's literally not. Like,
Hey man, that's what the adverts tell me. Okay.
I like Sam Adams. I like Newcastle. I like Blue Moon. Blue Moon is a mass manufactured course product, but I have no problem with that. I'm just saying
it's good.
that it's not this micro. I drink it. I
original.
order it at restaurants. I'm just saying that is not what people are going to be coming to Atlanta to get, and so I'm doing everything I possibly can to make sure that we have the spirit of Atlanta is going to be at this event, so people can enjoy that while they're gaming.
It's simple, dude. When you're in Pennsylvania, you drink freaking Rolling Rock, all right? When you're down in Texas, you're drinking Shinerbach. That's just how it works. Like, so I want to taste Atlanta Shiner. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we came to some conclusions, and I think everyone's going to be happy with what we got. It's going to be soon. I don't know if it's going to be this week or maybe next. We're going to let people pre-buy drink tickets to basically line up drinks for themselves, because the stand-up bar is going to be cash only, and I know that's kind of an inconvenience to certain people, so we worked out a fact to sell our ability to sell drink tickets. Now, of course, there's some logistics involved, and I'm not really working on that department of it, but I'm just saying, hey, this is how I would want to happen. Please do it, or at least make it consider it. You know,
Dude,
everything's moving smooth.
Every time my wife sends me to the store for something, I get like $10 cash back, $20 cash back, and she's like, "Man, why are we spending so much money?" She don't know, man. I'm just prepping.
There you go.
I'm just prepping. My wallet is busting at the seams, and she's none the wiser, and I love it.
That's smart thinking, man. I think
she watches the webcast, so hopefully
we give 40K tips. We get 40K tips and life tips here in this. Okay, we got a question here. Can I push my 40K Nurgle Death Guard that are all nasty, grimy Nurgle up with lots of Forge World extras into a 40K Death Guard army that is all Marines and much more white? I think you mean 30K.
Yeah, that's what I was just say, yeah.
You actually can. Even in the novels, they start to become that way. I mean, early on in the series, like very, very early on in the novels, they start to become exactly what you're describing. No one will tell you that you cannot do that. And if they do, you tell them to come see us.
I'll take care of it right there. There.
Yeah, and Sal's saying that secretly the Marines got a bigger upgrade than the Tau with this Tau release. I think you're right. I think you're going to see a lot more of Marine build changes, and you're going to see Tau new suits, which are awesome. That the Super Tuna from Forge World, very awesome.
Yep.
But largely, you're going to see a lot of things in Tau remain the same. And I think that the new stuff that they're introducing is new enough. It's good enough.
Yeah. That's valid. Josh,
you have formations and the hunter cadre and that kind of stuff.
Is your mic on, Josh? No. The tech priest.
Last week the camera didn't work. This week the mic didn't work. Next week we're gonna have it both working.
We're gonna bring it all together.
We're just gonna get in there. We're gonna make it happen.
Get that incense. It clears the nostrils and also makes the computers work better.
Yeah, Bill's saying that they're going to release, that he thinks they may release ads for the Heresy Marines, and I'm thinking they already do that. Forge World is just ready for you, especially all the brass edge icons and that kind of stuff, just ready to just hit your stuff.
You see,
like it's all there, all the decals.
It's right here. It's right on this dude. You can't really see the iconography very well.
You got to put your hand behind it, buddy.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the stuff is like all that mechanism is already there for them to make a mint. I mean, it's already there, and I think that's cool. I mean, I know I've got a truck ton of Blood Angel bits.
Oh yeah.
That look good on any style, any time period.
Well, I tell you, I really am happy that I saved all the bolt guns and things from my Death Company kits, because I haven't used bolt guns on my Death Company ever.
Why?
Why?
They're
because
so good.
it's one less attack in close combat. But anyways,
a more reliable shot though.
It is. It's efficient to have the bolt guns on. I hate it too. I didn't want to do it either. Gabriel's asking if the Thousand Suns had dark red armor prior to the Rubik event? And yes, they do.
It's I would say it's more of a light red. Like it's a lighter red than the crimson of the Blood Angels and the Word Bearers after the Word Bearers, because the Word Bearers are darker than Blood Angels after they switch from the gray. But yeah, they do have kind of a. I would say if I were to put it in a GW color, it would probably be somewhere between the Wild Rider red and the
Evil Sun Scarlet.
Yeah, the Evil Sun Scarlet. It's probably somewhere in the middle there.
I got a question on Twitter earlier today of when are Thousand Suns going to come out in 30K? And the answer is we know it's not going to be for a little while.
At the end with Space Wolves.
But if I had to bet, I mean, if I was a betting man, I'd say they're going to get the rules very similar if we get Grey Knights in 40K.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I think that we're probably looking at this time next year for them. It'll either be them next after this next book, or it'll be Cygnus. And the Winds of the Warp are telling me that Cygnus is after this book.
What does that mean for me?
Cygnus is going to have the Dark Angel, Blood Angel, and Chaos Demon army lists in it. And Sanguinius's and the Lion's rules. Which is basically what I've been waiting for my whole life.
I think that's true. I think, yeah, been a lot of plotting and planning.
I'm going to be excited because I do like Blood Angels. I just want to play 30K, so I need me some Wolfie stuff.
Fallen Cyber's coming in and saying 150 thanks for the Horse Heresy box set. That's not bad. If we get everything that's rumored to be in there, that's not bad.
If it's got a Contemptor?
Like Dice Head or something, and hopefully you get a little bit of a break, and I think it's going to be good. We got a bunch of people hitting us up in chat that I don't think are making it into the actual chat, so I hope you guys made it in, at least watching the video. This Google Hangout stuff is not intuitive. We probably need to find a better solution.
I preach the better solution, but none of us are tech savvy, so we're all
it takes time. Got to sit down and do it. We will get it done. We're gonna make sure everybody's cameras and mics work, and we're gonna make sure we're gonna maybe need to make a video on how to get into the video.
The fact that I make it here every week is shocking to me. So I'm not good at
keep muting because I'm coughing, but it's like we just had a weather change here. We had storms coming up from the Gulf, and it's getting cooler, and guys just hit me right in the sinuses.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I got it from my boy, and I tell you what, when you have a kid that spends all day, every day, with a bunch of other kids in a giant community petri dish, they bring things home that you just don't like.
On a K-related note, since we're kind of on a tangent right now anyway, I have an interview lined up tomorrow with the creator of Cthulhu Wars.
What?
Yeah, you did a preview on that.
If everything goes well, I'm gonna record tomorrow, and I'll either attach it to this podcast or put it out on its own separate thing, depending on how it goes. But I'm a backer of the new project that's up on Kickstarter right now. I am a full-fledged backer, and I messaged him like, hey, there's the only thing I love, equal to 40K game-wise is Cthulhu. So let's see what I can do to get you there.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, now you inspired me, because now I'm gonna have to email the Sword and Sorcery guys. They're Italian though, so I mean they speak pretty good English.
I don't know what that means. Okay, but the Cthulhu War, you guys heard me talk about the game. It's nice. I mean, it is. They've taken that thing. They're pitching themselves as a premium board game.
Yeah.
And it's every bit a premium. I mean, it is there's nothing lacking about this game. There is anything you can man, I wish it had better figures. It's got them. I wish the box had a sleeker look to it, so I don't mind it being on my shelf or out where people can see it. It's there. It's everything is thought of, and it's the game. And I played the game. It was my wife and I and Nicole played the game originally. And I mentioned this before, so I won't bore us down, but the game is kind of set where you can play ultra competitive, or you can just kind of experience the game. And we definitely had, there was a conversation where one person turned to the other person and was like, why don't you do this? And she's like, don't you tell me how to live my life. I'm going to sit here in the square, occupying your square, just doing my own thing. So,
you're awesome.
But Yeah, but anyway, the game allowed for multiple different types of play, but still you're playing with these really cool figures. Some of the similar reasons we're playing this game of 40K. I mean the Cthulhu piece is this tall.
Would you consider painting these figures, Paul?
They are paintable. Yes, I would consider painting them. I would very much consider painting at least the larger ones. Well, I paint all. They're all okay. They're all 28 millimeter scale. Every single figure is 28 millimeter scale.
See, and that's always one of the things that gets me about certain games is there are some games where it's set in a universe that you like, but they really don't pull off the miniatures very well. I think for the most part, a bunch of the themed Risk games have been pretty good about that. But there are other games out there that just kind of try and capitalize off of the name of something.
Yeah.
Versus actually.
This loves it. You can tell that they love the material and they deliver on all cylinders, man.
I'm about to check that out, man.
It's fun. I mean, check out the. I apparently missed a bunch of the expansions, like from the original to here, and so I'm like, I need to get me this Azathoth, man.
Oh man, Azathoth in Arkham Horror is one of those. It's just like, oh, if you don't win, you're dead.
Okay.
That's all I've ever heard about that game.
I could talk about Lovecraft myth the same way that I can talk about Robotech, and the same way I can talk about 40K. You just need to tell me how much time you have, and that's what I can do.
I have no idea what you just said.
Gwar.
Love Gwar.
Gwar and Yig is the snake god from the Cthulhu mythos. And I mean, so like, can you imagine? Like, I'm just, can you just imagine that? I'm just coming of age or whatever, and I find, the Scumdogs of the Universe, this Gwar CD, play it for the first time, and hear the horror of Yig on there. I'm just.
Have you played Mansions of Madness, Paul?
I have not played Mansions of Madness.
All right. Well, I was going to tell you a story about it, but I don't want to spoil one of the big scenarios for you, so I'll hold off.
Fair enough.
But it's
Betrayal at the House on the Hill is my favorite board game, like actual board game, like real myth, not genre specific. I guess it is genre specific, but it's not Robotech, it's not 40K, it's not Cthulhu. Betrayal at the House on the Hill is next. Anyway, guys, check these games out if you're at all interested. You can get Betrayal for dirt cheap, and it is probably the most fun game you'll sit down and jam out. And you can play it very quickly.
Nice.
We have totally gone off on a tangent.
That's what we do. I mean, let's face it. We're still talking games. I mean, I could go off on StarCraft, whatever. Like
that's coming out soon, right?
I've been painting those Terminators. I thought I got a couple questions about how do you paint that gold you were talking about, so I took some pictures and put them up on the Facebook. The pictures are terrible, but you get the idea. It's a base coat of this, a base coat of that, and I'm describing things to my wife, right? Yeah, and I know I have to talk about her because she's like my sound. She indulges me to let me talk to her about this nerd stuff, and which I appreciate. But I'm explaining to her because I posted that picture of the empty pot of Devlin mud, and so I was talking like, hey, the Devlin mud is out, and I've only got this one pot left, and so I'm like really sad. She's like, that sounds stupid, but go on.
Hey man, I thought I heard taps playing when you sent that picture.
Yeah, I know. Like it's a punch in the gut, right? So I'm explaining to her that the Agrex Earthshade were like the secret weapon shades, but secret weapon is if you're trying to do what the Agrex Earthshade wants you to do it now. I'm trying to explain to her that Devlin Mud is the mirror. It's very
You kind of cut now, buddy.
Did I break up?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm telling you.
Basically, it's the
Devlin
Primarch
Mud
of Washes, right? It's the Primarch of Washes.
Which one did you say?
Devlin Mud. You're saying Devlin Mud is like the Primarch of Washes.
Oh, I'm saying Devlin Mud is very forgiving, and sometimes I need to be forgiven for my paint mistakes, and that is what Devlin Mud does. Agrex Earth level, the secret weapon washes do a better job of not collecting on the flat surfaces and running more into the recesses. And I use the secret weapon washes when I'm trying to be like super fancy.
Yeah, I think the blend of flow improver that Mr. Justin has in his product and stuff like that is a little bit better. Josh just chimed in too through the little typey thing. I don't know if everybody gets to see that, but he's trying to do some oil washes. And that's something I've really been trying to do, but it's very tough.
Yeah,
the Windsor Newtons are on sale. And Michael, that's a brand of oil. Use white spirit and oil, and get the off-brand white spirit. Like I use. There's different kinds, but you can if you get the stuff that's made for miniature painting, you'll get a smaller bottle and pay twice as much. If you get the stuff that's maybe not meant for miniature painting, you can get a higher quantity for a better price point.
I know stores like Walmart and stuff. I don't know if we have any international viewers on right now, but stores like Walmart, you can go get a whole almost half gallon of it for like $6. So keep that on.
No, the problem I've had over here is finding inks. If you're making your own wash, like your own Devlin Mud equivalent, I've had trouble finding a big enough ink stopper or ink bottle that I can use to mix with the raw ingredients to make my own. Because the closest thing I've gotten was a brown ink that was in like a starter pack for pens. So that's been a little bit hard for me. And this is checking out Michael's and Joann's and all of the other craft stores around here.
Amazon, bro.
Hobby Lobby.
Amazon has it all.
That's pretty cool. I mean, getting out there and getting experimental and getting that's what you get when you're taking your craft to the next level. That's why I started experimenting with all these different washes, and that's how I know the difference between the washes. So with these, anyway, I had questions about how I did the gold on the Grey Knights, and I posted the first 4 stages, which is Tamiya bronze, and then you go at a 45-degree angle with shining gold, and shining gold is probably the worst paint to put through an airbrush. It sucks. The Games Workshop shining gold, I wish I had more hands. Like, it is absolutely terrible to put through an airbrush. I don't even like the paint itself, but it looks really good when you put Nuln Oil or Badab Black over it. And Josh saying Vallejo liquid gold. I use old gold a lot too. Yep. Old gold is more the burnish gold that they made originally, which I love. And then after you do the 45-degree angle, you basically do a 15 to top of the Vallejo Air Gold, which is the best gold in my opinion, the brightest gold. Love it. I can't say enough. And then I'm explaining as I'm talking about my airbrush technique about how that if air gold, the bottom coat being wiped out. I don't have highlights, so I basically have the angles are how I control where the paint hits.
Yeah.
Have you tried the? Sorry, Paul. Have you tried the Auric Armor Gold? This one right here.
It's terrible. I don't like it.
You don't like it? I've had a lot of good luck with this bottle because I'll do a base of where is it? It's the Balthazar Gold or the bronze, and then I wash it with either the Agrax or the Seraphim Sepia. I usually do the Sepia.
Thankfully, I mean, there's bunch of different ways to do gold. I do Blood Angel Gold differently. I do Ultramarine Gold differently, and now I have a different way of doing the Grey Knight Gold because I use white helmets for my Grey Knights and red and black power weapons. So anyway, it all brings together to me a better cohesive thing. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it. That's just how I did this gold, and it works really.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I feel like if you were really having some trouble with it and you didn't like the way it was turning out, that's how I do it. But it sounds like you've got. I mean, I don't think that there's a wrong way to hobby. As long as it ends up, the end result is what the hobbyist likes. I don't think there's a wrong way to do it.
Yeah, I have like a rose gold for my Sanguinary Guard, Dante, all that. I don't remember what the color is, but it's like the GW shade. I water it down a little bit, and I throw that over the Vallejo, this stuff, the alcohol-based one, and it gives it like a good red tinge to it.
Are you talking about Reichlin Flesh Shade or the Sepia?
I think it's no, it's it's
Both
the
of those have
shade
a
shade.
red. Oh, actual shade. Okay.
Yeah, so like it's like legit red. I don't have anything in arm's reach, so I can't grab it to show you. But yeah, what it does is it really picks up red in those recesses, and it's very subtle, but it keeps that red unity, for the whatchamacallits, Terminators and whatever
Sorry
else
about
I
that.
have
I
on
like that. I have to try that on something. Like the reason I go with the Ultramarines gold I use is that shining gold, which I think is again just out of the pot, but it looks good when you start putting shades to it. Shade is too subtle for my clumsy hands.
Yeah, there's so many different like techniques and cool stuff out there, man. I mean, I tried
I guess
dabbling in lacquers and stuff.
what I wanted to make sure is that I'm not amazing with the airbrush and that fine detail. Like I'm not gonna put the sweet fades on. Like if you see a miniature of mine that I did with an airbrush that has a sweet fade, it is luck that's what happened.
It was an accident. Yeah.
But I control. I'm able to control it with the angles that I have a consistent angle on my brush and consistent angle on my miniature, and I'm able to control it that way. And that may be something that people can benefit from.
Well, it's true zenithal highlighting. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that's pretty brave. Just because I haven't had the guts to try the airbrush out yet. I mean, granted, I don't really have the space for it, but it's one of those things that I really like the idea of, but I've always been a little bit too like, oh, I'm gonna screw this up or I'm gonna bust the airbrush.
Well, for base coating, it absolutely is amazing. I mean, like it really does. You're able to save a bunch of time. Like I'm able to get red on 30 Blood Angel Marines like that. In the same way, I can go red, Mephiston red all over them. Then I come back in at 45-degree angle with a Wild Rider red or whatever it is.
Yeah, dude, I love it. And we live in a pretty humid place, and it's constantly raining and this and that. Dude, like I prime through the airbrush, I base coat through the airbrush. Like
that's what you get for living on the coast.
I want to say it was 2 years ago where it rained
40 days and 40 nights.
And I had to prime through the airbrush because I couldn't go outside to prime at all. You couldn't get even with now I use the really expensive Walmart and Home Depot primers. By really expensive, I mean no more than $3 for a can.
I was gonna say, they're like $1.
Yeah, right. I know.
And if you do it wrong, it's fuzzy.
Yeah, but the only time they ever jack up is when it's like 99.9% humid outside.
Yeah, which is like 362 days a year.
Yeah. But anyway, I've been having fun painting the Terminators. I mentioned I got a buddy that comes over and plays kind of narrative style games. He's not interested in playing competitively, so I'm happy to play narratively with him, and he's using Grey Knights, and so it's kind of inspired me to kick up some interesting Grey Knight list.
You heard it here first, folks. Paul actually does play narrative games.
Yep. Got people testing their Warzone lists as well. And I'm working on Alan's list. He plays Ultramarines, and after this new Marine book came out, we're really jumping at putting some cool things together out of these formations.
There's gonna be some sweet
pajama pants.
No, my local Alan.
Okay, gotcha. So many Allens.
Yeah, there's a few, one or two.
I'm pumped for coming up for this tournament, and it's only a couple weeks away at this point. November 13th through the 15th, and the November 13th, Friday the 13th, we're hosting a Kill Team event as well. So it's something interesting to do. Yeah, it's only $10 to enter the Kill Team.
I don't know what time I'm leaving. I'm assuming like 5 a.m. because it's going to be like a 10-hour drive for me. Probably 11 because I'm probably going to have to poo. But yes, that's a whole hour. Yes, people, don't judge me. But yeah, it's going to take me about 10 hours. So I figured if I leave at like 5, maybe 6 in the morning, I'll get there at a reasonable hour.
Traffic.
Where do they fall?
You should guard traffic.
Oh my goodness, man! It's so much longer than I thought.
I'll be getting down there, I guess, right when we can start loading in. So I'm hoping that's early, and be setting up, and then be ready to hang out all night.
Well, what time? Well, we'll talk about that Oh, fair. Never mind. I could bore you guys with that if you really want.
That's all right. So anyway, I mean, this is a big. We're gonna have a lot to talk about on the podcast this week. I mean, there is a lot that has happened in 40K recently, and I'm glad we're getting the 40K stuff.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this on the show, but I'm really kind of glad that they're going to get into this routine, hopefully, of not super changing things and just releasing new stuff that makes better use of what is already there.
Yeah, that's a brilliant business strategy too, because gamers are known to get a little negative, especially like the Eldar people that were crying. Like, I've had a book for a year, the Imperial Knight people that didn't even have it for a whole year, and they had to get a new book. This is a good way that Games Workshop can introduce that stuff in one bundled edition, and it doesn't invalidate everything. I was reading the description for the Kaio Kababu, whatever, the new Tau stuff. It says if you...
I'm sure you nailed it.
Kaoyan? Yeah. Are you thinking the Kaoyan?
Yeah, right? Like, I was told, that's exactly what I said. I don't understand why we're judging.
I'm just trying to make everything clear, because I cut it up.
But it says
this is a place of kindness. You're
It says specifically, though, like, if you already own the Tau book, this is all you need. So that's kind of cool. Like, so you don't technically need to buy the new Tau book. If you own the 6th edition, you just buy this supplement. Bam, you're good to go. I like that.
Be me.
Thoughts? Are we frozen?
Yeah. I think we might be frozen. I don't know. I just kept talking. I don't know where. The internet. I get all these storms. I mean, I bet that people are in and eating up that bandwidth and stuff.
Yeah. So
Justin, you were going somewhere with that, and then we didn't hear it.
I was going really far. I'm going to say it one more time, just in case.
No.
Okay.
Nope. We're done. Actually, I think that basically we're probably going to wrap it up because the technology is not being our friend tonight. And then it is. I really thank y'all. I know as we get close to the holidays, summertime and holidays, it's difficult to make sure everybody gets together and talk. But I really appreciate y'all coming on tonight and you guys getting in the chat and you guys watching the rebroadcast on YouTube. Thank y'all very much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate that. Y'all got anything quick to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm going to finish shouting some people out, man. Chandler from Facing the Grey Tide, he chimed in. He made it in here tonight, so that's awesome. We already shouted out Steve Bruley, I believe. And I'm just making sure everybody got shouted out. Gabriel. Did we shout out Gabriel, did we?
Charlie Throttle.
Awesome. So everybody got shouted out. So I wanted to make sure that everybody was acknowledged for joining us tonight. Thank you guys for coming.
It's been fun to be able to join you again. I probably won't be able to.
Chris, thanks for getting in here tonight.
Yeah, it's all depends on it's all at the mercy of my my late night college professor. So happy to be
certainly
here.
made the right choice for blowing it off and coming to join us.
She let us out early. I didn't even have to do anything. That's the best part of it. She just gave us a test. It's like, hey, take this home. All right. God.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, guys.
We're breaking up again. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. I will talk to y'all soon.
Peace.
Wow.